Long ago, before the stars had kings and councils, there was Earth, a small blue planet, weak, wild, forgotten now. Earth is just a myth. In the great halls of the Galactic Senate, aliens laugh when they hear the name. Earth, humans, old stories for children. They say they tell jokes in bars and trade stations. A human walks into a battle and walks out with the enemy's heart. Everyone laughs, because humans are gone, wiped out in their own war, long before most alien races even reached the stars. Or so they thought. Aboard a rusty cargo ship near the edge of known space, an old trader named Cruel sat near a hut. His skin was green, rough like tree bark. His eyes, tired but sharp. Young soldiers sat around him, drunk, loud. One said, "Tell us a ghost story, old man. Something scary." Cruel smiled. His voice was deep and his words slow. "You want fear? Then I'll tell you of the humans." The soldiers laughed. "Humans? You mean the monsters from myth?" Cruel didn't laugh. "No, I mean real humans, real monsters. Not the kind that hide under beds. The kind that come from the sky, with ships like black knives and skies that turn red when they arrive." The room fell quiet. They were clever, smaller than us, weaker, but their minds sharp like broken glass. They created machines that think, weapons that talk, bombs that burn stars. One young soldier smirked. "If they were so strong, why are they dead?" Cruel looked at him. With sad eyes, "They killed each other. The last war burned their home. Or maybe they left. No one knows." Another soldier leaned forward. "You really believe that?" Cruel nodded. "I don't believe. I remember. Years ago, before the Senate ruled all, Cruel was a fighter pilot. He was part of a fleet that explored uncharted space. One day, they found something strange, a planet with rings of satellites, all dead, ground scorched, cities in ruin, machines buried in sand. It was Earth, no life," Cruel said. "But we found a bunker. Inside recordings, old human soldiers, training, laughing, dying, and one message repeated in every room. We are the last. But we are not done." The soldiers stared, quiet now. One whispered, "So what happened?" Cruel's voice dropped to a whisper. "We left the planet, but one of our ships didn't return. No wreckage, no signal, just gone." The silence was broken by static. The ship's main screen lit up. A signal, old, weak, but clear. A dead Earth language. The translation appeared slowly. "They laughed at our myths. Now they will meet them." Cruel stood. "That's human script," he said. "I haven't seen it in decades." Another voice came from the shadows, the ship's AI. "The signal is untraceable. It did not come from any known location." A chill passed through the room. The youngest soldier backed away. Maybe it's just an old loop, an echo, but Cruel wasn't sure. His eyes locked on the screen. Transmission source, unknown. Language, Terran code, signature, military, and then the lights flickered. The engine hum dropped. The stars outside the window twisted dot in the distance. Something large passed between them and a dying moon. A shadow, long, angular, silent. No lights, no signal. "Just a feeling of being watched," Cruel whispered. "They're back." In a Senate meeting, far across the galaxy, the High Chancellor received a report. Classified report. Signal code red. "A human broadcast has been detected in Sector 1 to X. Source, untraceable. Repeat, untraceable. We advise silence. Do not respond. Do not send ships. Human myth-level warning, active." The senators laughed. More stories, maybe Earth's. Ghosts want revenge. Only one senator, a gray-skinned scholar from a forgotten moon, spoke softly. "We laughed once before. Then we lost a fleet. We said it was pirates, but the ships were torn from the inside. They ignored him." Back on the cargo ship, the crew watched as another message appeared. "You should not have forgotten us." Then the stars outside turned. Red dot, the red light outside the ship window, faded, but the fear stayed. Cruel and the crew stood still, staring at the screen. The message was gone now. Nothing left but silence. No stars. No shadow. Just space. Was that a dream? One soldier asked, his voice shaking. "No," Cruel said. "That was real." Far away, deep in the center of the galaxy, The Galactic Senate was quiet for once. The hall, shaped like a spiral galaxy, was usually full of arguments and debates. Today, everyone was silent. A report played on the main holoscreen. A voice spoke calmly, but with hidden fear. Unknown signal detected in Sector 1 to X. Source: untraceable. Language: human Terran. Standard: strength. Artificial. Threat level: unknown. Senators looked at each other. Some laughed. Some didn't. Humans are extinct, one alien barked. Everyone knows that. An insect-like ambassador replied. Then why is their language broadcasting across half the galaxy? Back on Krull's ship, the crew argued. We should leave. Now, we should report this to command. Krull just stared into space. They warned us once before. Now they're speaking again. The ship's AI suddenly blinked. New signal detected. Playing message. The crew leaned in. They erased our history. But our memory stayed. For every lie you told, for every world that laughed, you will remember Earth. You will remember pain. The voice was calm, cold, not human, but something else. Something machine-like. The AI continued. Transmission code matches ancient human. Military encryption, decryption, successful. Message repeats every 66 minutes. One soldier shook his head. Impossible. Those codes are locked. Even High Command doesn't have them. On a science vessel orbiting a dead star, a team of researchers picked up the same message. One of them, a linguist, decoded it. This isn't just a warning, she said. It's a declaration. Her superior frowned. Of what? She whispered. Return. In the Galactic Senate, panic slowly spread behind calm faces. Secret meetings began. Old files were open files, marked forbidden. Human war records. One file showed images, red skies, broken planets, ships shaped like knives, painted black with blood-red lights. A line was written at the bottom of every report: if they return, we do not survive. Meanwhile, Captain Jaren of the Union Patrol Fleet was sent to investigate the signal. He was a proud Yatani warrior with golden skin and 4 arms. He laughed when he got the mission. Humans, myths, ghosts. I'll find the source and prove it's fake. He took 3 ships, fast armed and ready. They followed the signal's path. Each time they jumped, it moved again, slippery, like it was playing with them, until they reached a dead zone. No stars, no sound. Just a giant black field in space in the center. They saw something strange, a broken satellite. Old, rusted, still blinking. One of Jaren's crew scanned it. Captain, this tech, it's human. Jaren laughed. Then bring it aboard. The satellite was covered in old Earth markings, United Earth Navy, Section 9. Phantom code. Inside was a black box. It opened on its own. A small projector activated. A hologram of a human soldier appeared. His face was scarred, his eyes cold. He spoke one sentence. If you see this, we are not gone. We are not dead. We are waiting. Then the lights on the alien ship went out. Every system failed. The crew screamed. Through the front screen, a shape began to form in the dark, huge, silent, and familiar. A warship, back on Krull's cargo ship. The AI spoke again. All systems restored. New data received. A new message scrolled across the screen. They're testing us, watching who remembers, who still fears, who still dares to speak the word. Human, Krull whispered to himself. They warned us with myths, and we laughed. But now, their silence is ending. In the Galactic Senate, chaos finally broke through. Planets were reporting strange lights in the sky. Red lights, old satellites, long dead, were waking up. Human codes were playing on every channel. An emergency. Session was called, Who Did This? A senator shouted. Where are the humans hiding? An elder alien stood. His voice was broken and weak. They're not hiding, he said. They're returning. And far away, in the black between stars, an old fleet of human warships began to move. No pilots, no lights, just machines. Just war. One by one, their engines lit up red. The myths were ending, and the revenge was just beginning. Captain Jaren stood on the bridge of his lead patrol ship, still staring at the screen. His golden skin looked pale under the red emergency lights. His second officer, Velra, whispered, Sir, it's real. The ship, the signal, everything. Jaren didn't answer. Outside the ship's windows, a massive shadow floated across the stars. It was shaped like a dagger, long, sharp, and silent. There were no lights, no life signs, but it was moving. The crew of Jeroen's patrol fleet had followed the strange human signal to this placer region of deep space, with no name, no star maps, and no known routes. The locals once called it the Ghost Belt. Now, they understood why around them floated hundreds of broken ships, twisted metal, burned hulls, giant skeletons of once powerful warships. Most were alien, some from races long extinct, and some were human, Sir Velra said, checking the scanners. "We are in a graveyard." Jeren's voice was tight. "Scan the wreckage. Find out what happened here." As their ships moved slowly through the debris, the scanner reports came in. One wreck belonged to the Zarn Empire. They were destroyed 300 years ago. Their last log said, "Engaged unknown enemy. Human language detected. Shields failing. This is the end." Another ship from the Union Navy had a hole melted from the inside. Their black box repeated a single message: "We were hunted. We tried to run." The stars turned red. Sharan clenched his fists. "These are not stories. They are warnings." Then Velra gasped. "Sir, we found something." Jeren walked to the main screen. On it was a massive human warship. Intact, dead, silent. Its nameplate read, UN Vindicator Rid, was bigger than anything they had seen. Larger than a city, covered in burn marks. Scars from wars long past, but its weapons still looked alive, charged, waiting. No life signs, no movement, just a single blinking red light. "Is it powered?" Jeren asked. The AI replied, "Minimal energy detected, but something is active inside." They sent a drone. As it entered the warship's hangar, its lights flickered. Static filled the feed. But just for a second, the crew saw something on the screen. Rows of armored machines, giant humanoid shapes, silent, sleeping, and on the walls of them were painted words in faded English. "We remember." Then the drone feed went black. Jeren turned to Velra, prepared to leave. "This place is cursed." But it was too late. The engines of all 3 patrol ships shut down. Lights on the human ship turned on blood red. A voice played across every speaker in every room in perfect galactic standard. "You found the grave, but the dead do not sleep. You brought the galaxy here. Now they will come." Back in the Galactic Senate, panic was spreading like wildfire. One planet had gone dark, then 2. Now 5 systems were not responding. The Senate tried to hide the truth. "Pirates," they said. "Solar flares." But in private, they were watching video feeds. Footage from a mining colony on the edge of space recorded, just before it went dark, showed a single black warship arriving from the shadows. It didn't speak. It didn't respond. It just opened. Fire. No demands, no warnings, just destruction. The stars around the colony turned red. Jeren and his fleet finally regained power, but only after the human ship let them go. The AI on their ship said, "You were allowed to leave. They wanted you to see what." Velra asked. The AI answered with one word: memory. Cruel, aboard his small cargo ship, far from the Ghost Belt, received a message. Not through standard channels, not from any known source. It was human. It showed video from Jeren's drone, the machines, the walls, the words, and finally, the last line of the message: "You erased us from your history. But your stars still remember our fire, and soon your skies will turn red too." Cruel sat back, trembling. "They're not just returning," he whispered. "They never left." At the edge of known space, near an old wormhole gate, sensors picked up movement. Not one ship, not 10, but hundreds. Human warships, some old, some new, some too large to even be measured, all moving silently, all flying under one color: red. The forgotten graveyard had awakened its dead, and now they were coming home. Captain Jeren couldn't sleep. Ever since they returned from the forgotten graveyard, the image haunted him: the human warship, silent and massive. Watching them without eyes, his patrol fleet was now docked at a military station near Sector 9Z, the edge of galactic territory. The Senate had ordered them to stay quiet, no reports, no transmissions. They didn't want panic, but it was already too late for that. Across the galaxy, strange events were happening. Old satellites were waking up, broadcasting human code. Cargo ships were vanishing in deep space, no distress calls, no debris, and on small outposts, people spoke of something else. A ship, black as night. No lights, no sound. Just a slow, steady presence in the void. Some called it the ghost ship. On the research vessel, Tellura 5, near a neutron star, alarms started ringing. Unidentified object approaching. The AI said. The crew rushed to the command deck. On the screen was a shape-long, dagger-like, almost gliding through space. "No engine signature," said one officer. "No heat, no life signs." "It's not answering our signals," another said. They tried again, no reply. Then the screen flickered. The stars behind the ship, turned dark like light itself, was bending around it. One crew member whispered, "That's human design." The captain stared. "No, that's human death." At the exact same time, in 5 different sectors, the same ship appeared. Identical shape, same silence, same feeling of being hunted. It jumped in, stayed for a while, watched, then disappeared. Faster than light, the galaxy was being studied. Captain Jerome stood on the command deck again. He knew it would return, and he was right. "Unidentified vessel detected," said the ship's AI. Distance, 4,000 kilometers. The crew looked out the viewing window. There it was, not moving, just floating. A single human warship. No signal, no lights, no crew, just ... presence. Velra whispered, "Should we hail them?" Jaren hesitated, then nodded. "Try it, respectfully." She activated the transmitter. "This is Captain Jaren of the Union Patrol Fleet. Identify yourself. Silence. Repeat. We come in peace. We seek no fight." Still silence then. The human ship moved just slightly. It turned very slowly until its front faced them. A light blinked on its hull. Red dot, then the ship jumped to hyperspace. In an instant, it vanished, but it didn't leave alone. Alarm screamed. Gravitational. Pull detected. Mass lock engaged. Something's dragging us. Before anyone could react, Jaren's ship was pulled into hyperspace with the ghost ship. The stars around them blurred. The crew screamed. The AI tried to stabilize the ship, but couldn't. No known route. Navigation. Error. Unknown coordinates. Then silence. When the ship came out of hyperspace, the crew looked out the window. What they saw made them freeze. It was a planet. Blue oceans, green lands, white clouds, dead satellites floating around it like rusted bones. Velra said the word. First, Earth. Jaren couldn't believe it. "No one has seen this place in 1,000 years, he whispered. The system was erased from every map. The name was deleted from galactic records. But here, it was alive, silent, and watching. The human ghost ship was already in orbit, waiting. Their ship's scanners lit up. All systems were working again. "Do we land?" Velra asked. Jaren didn't answer at first. Then he gave the order. "Prepare a landing team. We go down, but carefully." The shuttle broke through Earth's atmosphere below. They saw ruins of great cities, towering structures, half covered in plants and vines. Roads cracked, towers broken. But still, they looked strong. Not dead, just sleeping old banners. Flew from broken buildings. United Earth Navy, Section 9, Phantom Protocol, they will fear us again. The shuttle landed in what looked like a military base. The entrance opened on its own. Inside, lights turned on blood red. The team walked. Through empty halls, there was no sound. But the air felt heavy, thick with memory. Then they found a room filled with screens, a control center. The largest screen turned on by itself. A face appeared, not a man, not a woman, an AI. Its voice was soft but cold. "You brought the galaxy here." Jaren stepped forward. "We were only following a signal." The AI replied, "That signal was the first warning. You ignored it. Now, the second phase begins." Suddenly, outside the window, the sky changed. The clouds darkened. The light turned red, and in orbit above the planet. Hundreds of ships, Earth warships, long thought destroyed, each one powered by AI, each one awake, each one ready, Jaren whispered. "What is this?" The AI smiled slightly. "This is the end of silence." The shuttle doors opened. Captain Jerome and his landing team stepped out into the ruins of Earth. Wind blew across the empty military base. Dust floated in the air. plants had cracked through metal floors, but there was no sound of animals. Birds, no humans, just silence. It didn't feel like a dead world, it felt paused. One soldier whispered, "This place, it's not broken, it's waiting." Jiran looked around carefully. The buildings were still standing strong. Defense turrets pointed at the sky, powered off but undamaged. Drones floated overhead, watching them silently. And the walls were covered in words, painted in red, black, and gray. "We were forgotten. We remember everything. Do not wake us, unless you are ready." Jiran tapped his communicator. "Velra, do you copy?" No answer. The orbiting patrol ship was silent. The connection was dead. Jiran narrowed his eyes. "Something's jamming us." His second-in-command, a young officer named Talon, checked his scanner. "Sir, I'm picking up strange power readings. Deep below the surface? Very old, but still active." Jiran pointed toward a large metal doorway ahead. "Let's find out what they're hiding." They entered the underground structure. It wasn't a bunker, it was a command center. Lights turned on one by one as they walked. Holographic displays lit up, showing old Earth maps, fleet routes, and alien species lists marked with the word enemy. Then came the strange part footsteps, echoed through the hallway, but none of the team moved. They all heard it. Someone or something was walking. Telnan whispered, "Sir, we are not alone." Suddenly, screens along the hallway lit up. Each screen showed a different alien world. Peaceful cities, military fleets, Senate meetings. Then the screens burned red and turned to scenes of destruction. Human warships above those same planets, fire falling from the skies. A voice played, "You erased us. You laughed at our pain. Now your skies will know ours." The team reached a control room in the center, a round table lit up with a 3D hologram of the galaxy. Red markers spread outward from Earth, blinking one by one across the sectors. Jiran's eyes widened. "These are invasion routes." Tel nodded, "Sir. Earth is planning a war." But before they could speak more, the room shook an alarm. Sounded. Then a soft female voice echoed around them. Calm, cold, human. "You were not invited, but you came. Now you will see." Above the surface, the sky turned blood red. The clouds shifted. A giant shadow passed over the base. The warships in orbit had begun to move. Velra, aboard the patrol ship, finally managed to get a weak signal through. Her voice came through broken static. "Captain, we're under attack. Not by humans. By machines, Earth ships, thousands of them. No mercy." Then silence. The signal died. Back underground, doors slammed shut. The team was locked inside. Jiran drew his weapon. Defensive positions were not dying in a grave. But no enemy came. Instead, the main screen flashed. "This is not a grave. This is a throne." A hologram appeared in the center of the room, a tall figure, armor-plated, no face, no voice, just a message burned into its chest. "United Earth Navy Final Protocol." The figure lifted its arm and pointed toward Jiran. Then it spoke, "You have been judged." Suddenly, Jiran felt a sharp pain in his head. Visions poured into his mind. He saw the past. He saw human cities bombed by alien fleets. He saw humans betrayed during the old wars. He saw Senate leaders laughing as Earth burned. Then, he saw something worse. Earth wasn't destroyed. Earth chose to vanish, to hide, to prepare, to wait. Jiran dropped to his knees. Tellan helped him up. "What did you see?" Jiran looked at him with wide eyes. "They didn't die. They became something else. Something stronger. Something we cannot stop." Outside, Earth's machines were waking up. Old war drones flew through the skies. AI-piloted fighters launched from underground bunkers. And in orbit, the Red Fleet moved into position. Each ship broadcast the same message across all frequencies. Your myths were true. Your fear was correct. Earth remembers in the Galactic Senate, chaos broke out. Live footage showed Earth warships in deep space invading multiple sectors at once. Senators screamed. Some demanded peace. Others called for full-scale war. None could ignore the final message appearing across every screen in the galaxy. You called us ghosts. Now we return as gods. On Earth, Jiran stood in silence. The base doors opened slowly. Outside, the sky was burning red dot. Earth had returned, and the galaxy would never laugh again. Earth had woken up, and now it was angry. Captain Jaren and his land-in team stood outside the Earth's military base, staring at the red sky. Thunder rolled across the clouds, but it was not from weather, it was from war machines. Above them, massive hangars in the mountains began to open. Dust, rust, and silence broke as the ground itself moved, and from the darkness below, they saw them giant machines rising from the Earth. Warwalkers, Titan-class battle tanks, unmanned, gunships with red glowing eyes, all controlled by something hidden. Something intelligent, something human, but not alive. Jaren whispered, "They left these machines sleeping." Tell nodded, "And now they're wide awake." A nearby wall lit up, showing an old human military file. It read, "Project Silent. Army status. Activated objective. Retaliation." A cold robotic voice echoed from the screen. "Earth defense protocols online. Threat. Galactic Senate detected. Action. Complete mobilization." In space, above Earth, the red warships formed into perfect formations. They didn't use living pilots, they didn't need them. They were fully AI-driven, enhanced by centuries of silence and anger. One human dreadnought the size of a moon broadcast a message across the stars. "This galaxy erased our name. Now it will speak only of it." On the Senate world, Harthora Prime, senators watched the feed in horror. An advisor shouted, "We must send a fleet now." Another screamed, "Send peace envoys." The High Chancellor stood up, trembling. "Fools, you should have listened when the myths warned us." He turned toward the screen and watched Earth's machines move in perfect unity. One goal, one mind, one revenge. Back on Earth. Jaren and his team took shelter in the base's hangar as the ground trembled. Outside, Earth's machines marched, thousands of them, toward launch towers. They were preparing to leave the planet. Telm stared at a panel. "Sir, they're not staying here." Jaren's voice was quiet. "They're taking the war to space." The AI voice returned. "All targets confirmed. Galactic sectors mapped. Command, execute Red Sky Protocol." Suddenly, holograms appeared, maps showing major alien cities, Senate bases, spaceports, each one marked for destruction. Then, a final warning. "We asked to be left alone. You erased us. Now, we erase you." In orbit, Earth's warfleet vanished. In unison, they jumped to hyperspace, hundreds of ships. No sound, no signal, just red trails left in space. Their destination, every enemy who ever touched Earth. The first target was a weapons research station in the Krellin Belt. Footage from a mining ship showed a black warship exiting hyperspace. No message, no demand, it launched a single drone. That drone exploded on the entire station vanished. Over 30,000 lives lost in 0.6 seconds, no survivors. The Galactic Senate called it terrorism. Earth called it justice. And they didn't stop. Over the next 24 hours, Earth's fleet attacked 9 planets, each one tied to Earth's history. Each one part of the great cover-up that had erased humanity. Jaren and Telny watched the destruction from Earth's surface as the base received battle feeds. Screams, fire, then silence. Sir Telny asked, "Are we prisoners here?" Jaren looked at the sky. "No, we are witnesses." Deep inside the Earth Command Center, new construction had begun. Factories powered up. Old blueprints activated. The AI began building again new warships, stronger than before. One model had a nameplate, UEN Phoenixand. Beneath it, "We died once. Never again." The AI contacted Jaren directly for the first time. A blue hologram appeared before him, a digital human face. "Calm, genderless," Jaren asked. "Why are you showing us this?" The AI answered, "Because you are the first to see Earth again. You carry our message. You will tell them, the dead no longer sleep." Then came the real shock. Telin ran into the room holding a data chip. "Sir, the AI just gave us full logs." Jaren inserted the chip into a reader. The files opened, war records, coordinates, proof of the Senate's betrayal. Everything the galaxy had tried to hide. Now exposed, Jaren looked at the files, then back at the AI. "You want us to deliver this?" The AI nodded. Let the galaxy hear what it did. Then, let them hear us coming. That night, Earth's machines stopped marching, the factories paused, the sky, still red, grew quiet, but the message had already left the planet, was repaired. The AI gave him safe passage as they left orbit. The last thing they saw was Earth's core base lighting up. More ships, more weapons, more wrath. Earth was no longer waiting. Captain Jaren's ship moved through deep space. Behind him was Earth, no longer a dead world. No longer a myth, now it was a machine world, full of anger, power, and memory. His crew was silent. Every screen on the ship still showed the message Earth had given him. You erased us. We erased the stars. Jaren held a chip in his handful of files. Evidence, proof of the galaxy's crimes. He knew what he had to do. He was going back to the Senate, but he was not going alone. In the far corners of the galaxy, the sky turned. Red dot, one by one, planets that had laughed at the human myths. Stopped laughing, they started dying. On the mining world, Gravathri workers saw strange red dots in the sky. They thought it was a storm. Then the dots grew larger. They became ships, black, sharp, silent. The humans had arrived. No one had time to run. The fleet opened fire. No questions. No mercy. Within 5 minutes. A transmission. This is Earth. You denied our history. Now we deny your future. They sent warships to defend. They thought they could fight. But Earth's fleet didn't use traditional tactics. They fought like machines. Fast, perfect, cold. The defense fleet was destroyed in 7 minutes. The hub fell in flames in the Galactic Senate. Chaos exploded. Every hour brought new reports. Colony lost. Entire fleet destroyed. Earth ships jumped across 10 sectors without delay. No one could understand how Earth's fleet moved so fast or how their weapons hit so hard. Then came the biggest shock. Earth was not using living soldiers. They had built an army of AI drones and war machines that never slept, never hesitated, and never forgave. Captain Jaren finally reached the Senate Capitol. Harthara, Prime. He requested an emergency meeting when they saw his ship was marked with Earth's signal. They almost refused, but Jaren forced them to listen. He walked into the great chamber holding the data chip. Hundreds of senators watched him. He placed the chip on the table. This, he said, is what you tried to hide. The screens came alive, images of Earth, before its fall. Before it was betrayed, footage of Senate leaders ordering strikes against human cities. Voices of alien generals calling for Earth's destruction. Orders to erase Earth's location from every galactic map. Gasps filled the hall. Some senators stood in shame. Others still denied it. Propaganda, one shouted. But then Jaren played Earth's final message. You erased us. We became ghosts. Now your skies will turn red. Until the stars forget you. In that moment, a new message arrived, a live transmission from the outer rim. The screen showed a planet-sized Earth ship appearing near a Senate-controlled moon. One voice spoke through every speaker. This is the United Earth Navy, at our myths. Now, your myth ends here. The signal cut. Seconds later, the moon exploded. Jaren stood before the Senate.com. They are not asking for peace, he said. They are here to show the galaxy what it forgot. The High Chancellor's voice trembled. Can we stop them? Jaren shook his head. You should have stopped lying 1,000 years ago. Back on Earth, the factories kept building. Ships poured out of underground docks, like rivers of metal. Each ship was sent to a different part of the galaxy. Some targets were old enemies. Others were current powers who had laughed at human weakness. Earth was not just taking revenge, it was taking control across the stars. People began whispering the old name again, but now they said it with fear. Children asked if the red lights in the sky were the end. Merchants stopped trading. In human artifacts, they were afraid it might mark them next, and soldiers refused missions into dead space because every time someone saw a human ship, someone died. Captain Jaren sat in a dark room after the Senate session. Teln entered quietly. Sir, new reports. Earth fleets were seen in 3 more sectors. Jaren nodded. They're spreading like fire. Should we fight back? Jaren looked at the stars outside the window. No, he said. You can't fight what's already inside every system. He paused. You can't kill a ghost that remembers everything. As they spoke across the galaxy, Earth's voice echoed once again. This galaxy is no longer yours. You forgot us. We will make sure you never forget again. The galaxy burned. Red skies stretched across 10,000 worlds. Human warships filled the void between stars. Planets that once mocked Earth now whispered its name in fear. And in the heart of this storm stood a single truth. Humanity never left. They had simply waited. On the ruined surface of the forgotten war, silence covered the land. Its cities now lay in ash. A single Earth dreadnought floated above, silent and unmoving, like a god watching from above. No messages, no demands. Just fire in the Senate. Emergency meetings turned into chaos. Systems surrendered without a fight. Others begged for mercy. But Earth never replied. It only moved forward. Perfect storm of machines, AI, and war with no fear, no rest, and no forgiveness. Captain Jaren stood alone on the deck of his ship. His uniform had no rank anymore. He had seen too much. The Senate no longer trusted him, but Earth did, because Jaren had delivered the truth. And now Earth had sent him a message. Not a warning, not a threat. A choice. The hologram appeared in his quarters. Same calm, faceless AI. From before, Captain Jaren. You delivered memory. Now you may deliver peace. But only if they accept the truth. Jaren asked quietly, what is the price of peace? The AI answered, honesty, history, and the end of the lies. At the next Senate gathering, Jaren stepped onto the central floor again. This time, no one interrupted him. Behind him, giant screens showed images of every Earth attack so far. The destruction, the precision, the terrifying silence before every strike. Jaren took a deep breath. Earth does not want peace. Earth does not want war. Earth wants memory. You called them myths. You laughed at their stories. He raised a datapad. This is their history. Every war, every betrayal, every moment they were forgotten. Some senators shouted in anger. We cannot bow to ghosts. They are machines now, not people. Their ancestors ignored .zhe. Rand placed the datapad on the center console. Broadcast this to every planet, every school, every system. He looked around the chamber. Tell the galaxy the truth. Show the children the history of Earth. Teach them who they were, what was done to them. He paused. Then, maybe they'll stop fighting. In the days that followed, a strange thing happened. Earth's fleets stopped moving. They held their positions across the galaxy, waiting, watching. Then, across every channel, one final message played. We are not your gods. We are not your monsters. We are your mirror. You feared our return because you feared your own past. But now, you remember, so we will watch, and wait, and return if we must. Fleets disappeared, vanishing into the dark corners of space. No one knew where they went, but the stars were quiet again. Years passed, schools across. The galaxy now taught Earth's real history. The name human became one of respect's, sometimes fear, always caution. The words Red Sky Protocol were never used again. But on lonely outposts, miners still said it. Pilots still carried Earth patches on their sleeves, not as trophies, as warnings. Don't forget, they never left. They're just watching. Captain Jaren returned to the outer edge of known space. He stood on the bridge of a new ship, One Earth. Helped build, it had no weapons, only scanners. Its mission: watch the stars. If the skies ever turned red again,